Greetings to you, dear viewer. I hope you are doing fine. Welcome once again to our channel, Joint Hands Green Life Trees. And today we are coming to you from one of our tree nurseries. And we want to bring to your attention the kind of trees that we make here. We had shown you lots of this before, but today we are bringing to you a deeper perspective of our work. Welcome. My name is John Bosco. Yeah, so to start with, the tree right behind me is a jackfruit tree. And this jackfruit tree has been here for, this should be the 4th year since it was planted. And as you can see, it has come of age, actually taller than me already. And the last time I checked, it was already beginning to fruit. As you check around it, you can see that it is indeed becoming a large tree, and also it is flowering and fruiting already. Taking a look at this particular bud that is already becoming a fruit. Soon we will be harvesting some fruits from this tree, and there are just a couple more of such that are just right inside this tree. And so most of these trees that we raise here they start from seeds, then they become seedlings before they are planted to become trees. So this particular one is not a seedling, it is already a tree because it was planted on the ground and it is already growing and becoming a large tree. Perhaps you'd also want to know how a jackfruit looks like. You can see in the images shown herein how a jackfruit looks like, and perhaps also you'd want to understand how it is consumed. Now, in our subsequent videos, we'll be showing you how the entire process of raising a jackfruit tree, how it is then harvested, at what point do you consider it to be mature, and then how do you have it consumed, and does it have any nutritional benefits? That also stands to be answered here. Now, besides the jackfruit tree, there is also this palm tree here. Now, palm trees exist in several species. It's a large family, but this particular one that I'm showing you here is called a royal palm tree. So these royal palm trees are seedlings that are still potted. They are in their respective pots and they are growing up. And finally, when it grows up, it looks exactly like what you are seeing there, a royal palm tree. So sometimes people around us here wonder, where do they get palm trees from? So consider visiting us at our tree nurseries, Joint Hands Green Life Trees, and you'll get to find the seedlings and also be able to plant them. And besides the royal palm tree, we also have got the oil palm. Oil palm tree, it looks like this. This is the oil palm tree when it is still a seedling, but you'll also I'll get to show you how exactly an oil palm tree looks when it grows big. Oil palm trees are they mostly bear nuts, and those nuts are usually processed into oil that is then edible. It is used in the households, mostly processed in the factories, but also sometimes processed domestically and consumed at home, used for preparing meals. Now, besides again the oil palm tree, there is also the golden cane palm tree. In this state, they are still seedlings, and there are just many. You can see them over there. Those are golden cane palm trees, and these golden cane palm trees are usually ornamental. You can have them indoor, you can have them outdoor. They can grow into large trees depending on where you plant them and how you treat them. They can always be small enough to have them indoor, or sometimes so big that you plant them outside to become trees. Now, still on palm trees, there is also this here that is called Prechadia fan palm. Now, fan palms are usually quite beautiful, but now these are still young seedlings that we are bringing up, and you can see them in their state. They are just so young, but as they keep growing, they will grow into something more beautiful, something more attractive, and just as what you can see in the image shown here. So these here are Prechedia fan palm trees. Still on palm trees, there is also this that you can see here. These are called Cyphodia palm trees. Cyphodia is also known as King Alexander palm tree. So King Alexander palm tree, here they've grown. They're actually tall, as you can see them here, measuring about 1.5 meters, as you can see them. And so when they grow up, usually they have a straight trunk, a smooth trunk, just like the royal palm trees, except the difference is that they have a smaller trunk compared to the trunk of the royal palm tree. But they usually so smooth. They flower a lot, and their flowers and fruits usually look so beautiful and attractive. And they look like beads. You would love to see them. And there's also this tree that we call it thicker palm. Now, thicker palm tree is not a palm, but it is just a tree, except it is shaped like a palm tree. So we call it thicker palm. It is native to Kenya, um, and Thika is actually a place in Kenya. Is a town within Kenya, and so this tree here took it got its name after that town. I'm yet to find out why. I think I'll have to go into books and get to understand. But thicker palms are usually evergreen. They are evergreen, usually so beautiful. They do not grow into large trees. So if you have got a smaller yard and you'd want a tree, a shade tree, then thicker palm is usually ideal, because it isn't quite a big tree that would interfere with space within your compound, and also it doesn't shed off leaves. You know, many trees usually shed off leaves in a season, but this doesn't shed off leaves at all. And you can see that we have just so many of them here, just so many. And this, as you can see them, once you plant, they would be good to go, because they are at a good height, a good age, and also they can stand hardships because they've been hardened off. Now, having understood that this can give you a good shade, we also have got more other trees that can give excellent shades. Like this tree in particular is called a podo tree, Podocarpus falcatus. This tree here is usually, averagely, it is a softwood and grows averagely faster. Not as fast as some that I'll be showing you, but it grows faster, and also it gives a good canopy, quite a good canopy. And if you'd want timber, then this is one ideal tree that would give you quite quality timber. And this tree is native to Africa, and you can see that we have just so many of them. As you check here, you can see that this is nearly my height. This is nearly my height, as you can see, meaning that we have just so many large seedlings that are good to be plant and go and just have your tree. Now, the advantage of planting a large tree seedling is because it has overcome many challenges and it has been hardened off, so it can face hardship, and it would not die easily because of the many conditions that affect tree seedlings once they've been planted. We also have got this other tree that is called Elgon teak, Olea wilwichi. Olea wilwichi is also it is an indigenous tree to Africa, and usually gives a good shade. It can also give you timber and is averagely a fast grower, and you can always have it in your yard because of its beauty. Back here in Africa, it is also medicinal. I think the medicinal perspective is a separate video that I'll have to do on a different day. But for now, what we can take home is that This is one of the ideal shade trees. But usually, since it grows too big, you are advised not to have it very close to buildings. You can have it within the yard, but not so close to a building. The only tree that you can have close to your house and it won't affect it much, then again, not so close, but you can have it close to the house with no fear, is this tree here. It's called Thika palm, usually known botanically as Felicium decipiens. Now all these tasks are taking place at the banks of the river, as I've always shown you before, and I'm moving closer to the river so that you are able to have a clearer view of the same. We have got a roadside. Our tree nursery is situated at the roadside, so that bridge you see over there connects two sub-counties. To this side is Suna West sub-county, and to the other side is Suna East sub-county. Now, sub-counties are the lower cadre after the county, the lower administrative cadre after the county, and below them is usually the wards. So this is Ragana Uruba ward, which is in Suna West. But now, once you cross the river to that other side, you'll be in Suna East. But now this is the river, and as you can see, it has gone down. Actually, it normally fills up to where I'm standing, but now it has gone down to an extent that we can now walk just around it. I'm glad that we've always made effort to plant trees at the banks of this river, and these are among the trees that are surviving, because sometimes we plant the trees, but when heavy rains come, they make away with some of the trees when they are still young. But these ones survived the last heavy rain, so I believe they are in good state to still survive whatever else that comes. Those are whistling pine trees. Usually they survive well in such an environment. They are rarely affected. But what we would love to do around here, more importantly, is to plant bamboo. Now this bamboo used to be a seedling, and now you can see all the rubbish, all the baggage that is on it. This is as a result of erosion. Whenever River Migori bursts its banks, this is one of the areas where it deposits whatever it carries from uplands. And most of this river that you see here traces its origin to Masai Mara. That is where it starts from. And so whenever it bursts the banks, it carries a lot of stuff downstream, and most of it gets stuck on the bamboo and the other trees that we've planted here. So the result is what you are able to see. But I'm glad that bamboo usually stands any form of floods, so this didn't go. It wasn't swept away. This is the only surviving bamboo seedling that among the 20 that we planted at this riverbank. So this is what we would already, the bamboo you see here, this bamboo you see is what we would be having. And we would be having 20 of them holding the banks of this river, because erosion that usually occurs here is just so heavy, and stakeholders whom we are trying to entice to come on board to help conserve this riverbank haven't been quite proactive. But if we got good friends who are greatly concerned about this, then we would do a lot more of bamboo, because environmentalists advise that this would be the most ideal thing to help protect the banks of the river against any form of erosion. Because as you can see to the side of Suna East, you can see that usually when it fills up, it eats the entire bank, and so lots and lots of soil get broken down into the river and is swept downstream, and so it goes silting the lake and also silting all the water bodies along the way, more rivers and everything else. So as days go by, the lake is filling up, the rivers are also filling up with the soil that has been swept downstream. Right. I was here to explain to you things concerning the nursery, but I took a a break to come and show you the river. If well taken care of, this river can do just a lot more. We are using the same water for the tree nursery. We water our plants using this same water that is also used for it is the same water that is used for domestic purposes. People use it for laundry, others use it for livestock, and more other people use it, just different tasks. But as you can see, its beauty, it has a lot that it can do. For instance, a lot of recreation activities can take place here. People sometimes are here to do sport fishing. Children usually come over here. Uh, I mean, people from many places come over here to do sport fishing. I wish they were around today. I would have shown you how sport fishing is done here. And just besides fishing, you can see that even boat rides can be done in this river. It is cool, especially at this time that we have prolonged drought. It has gone down, and so at this moment people can really enjoy riding in it. Sometimes even swimming takes place in it, except now is not, most of what takes here is not quite much regulated. But if it gets well regulated, then as you can see, this river can just do a lot. And I have got, or let me say, we have got some dreams for it. If it works, then we could have some recreation activities taking place in this river. Just quite a beautiful river, and we would also love to do a lot more of conservation and protection at the river bank. Okay, let's go back to trees in the nursery that I was updating you about. Pam is not with me because she is attending to some other pressing matters that needed her attention. So that is why you will see me updating you most of these things alone. But I'm hoping that from our next video, you will see Pam around. We working together and showing you a lot more of our activities. I was telling you, we have got a mix of different fruit trees around here. So these are mango tree seedlings, and they are just so many. They are still growing, and as soon as they are ready, we will improve them through grafting. So once we graft them, we look forward to having an improved mango variety. These are local mangoes, and usually they are smaller, quite tasty, but they do not do well, so we usually improve them by grafting. And so I'll show you some that are already been grafted. Now, as I told you before, is that our work majorly is not tree production alone. We are integrating a lot about environment conservation in our work. Now, what you are seeing to my background here are palm trees, King Alexander palm trees that are still young. A mix of King Alexander palm trees and also some golden palm trees, and they are still so young, they are still in smaller pots. And when we planted them, we recycled milk buckets, because mostly these are things that are dumped, and when they are dumped, they go polluting the environment. So we chose to recycle, we chose to reuse them. That is what is basically holding these tree seedlings that you see here. Around here you can see that these are milk packets. Let me pick one and show you. So this is a milk packet. It has stayed here for quite a while, and you can see that the tree seedling is growing in it. And these are just them, all of them. And they are majorly what is constituting the greatest percentage in the tree seedlings that we've planted here. So there is several milk processing companies. This brand here is called Fresha Maisha. Fresha Maisha, we normally get their packets dumped. Sometimes we move literally to hotels and eateries, and we request them not to dispose of, instead keep them for us. We even have households that usually bring us these milk packets, and we use the milk packets for raising the tree seedlings. So you can see that they are the greatest percentage of what is holding our tree seedlings here. All these palm tree seedlings you see here are contained in milk packets. This area here is a mix of several trees, but we have got this here. If you can see it keenly, lovers of palm trees. This is a fishtail palm. Let me just get to hold it and carry it up here. This is a fishtail palm, and we have more of them that are still younger. We also have got more of oil palm trees. I can see some weeds already growing into the potting bags. I don't mind removing them. And so this is what you would see. These are younger oil palm trees. They explained something about oil palm, so I believe you understand. And since the government sometimes initiates massive tree planting, we also do massive tree seedling production. So you can see that this is Macamia lutea. Macamia lutea is an indigenous tree to Africa, and we've raised just a good number of them. You can see them. We have them in tens of thousands, as you can see. And you also have got this tree that is called Croton megalocarpus. We raise all this so that when time comes when we would want to do massive tree planting, this is what we would have done. More of golden palm trees, large, planted in cement bags, because I told you we recycle. Now cement bags usually are not quite durable in holding tree seedlings. You can see that they easily get affected by hot sun or some weather conditions. So this one is already collapsing out. It is already rotting away. But when we use them for raising tree seedlings, it is a way of seeing that they are not thrown all over around, polluting the environment. So that is what you're able to see there. These are Prichadia fan palm trees, and they are planted in cement bags as a way of recycling the cement bags so that they are not polluting the environment all over. Plus just a lot that we are raising here. These are young tree seedlings that were just pricked into these potting bags recently, and so we still have them. We still have them growing, and it will take quite a while to see them become tree seedlings that are fit to be planted. This flower is called Kufia hysopifolia. Kufia is usually a beautiful flower and also ideal for short hedges, and it has a dense cover, so you'd love to have it. Now in our tree nursery, our nursery has got lots and lots of trees around to protect them. Now those trees keep dropping leaves into the seedlings, so we've got to keep picking up the seedlings to keep it clean. Picking up the leaves to keep the seedlings clean. So is what you're seeing there. That's why you see lots and lots of leaves seeming to have fallen. Now the tree that is most planted mostly is eucalyptus, and that is why you can see that we've raised a lot of eucalyptus around here. You can see that there is just massive numbers of eucalyptus tree seedlings that have been raised here, and it goes all the way there. I'd also told you about grafted mango trees, and so this is the graft section, and they are growing up, and they are a good number. And so this is what we normally do, coming over here to remove the weeds that are growing in them. You can see that some grasses here are growing in them. Weeding, usually we do weeding at a time that the weather is a little cold, not at a sunny season like right now, because during sunny seasons seedlings are delicate. Even moving them from just one where they are to a different zone already affects them during the sunny period. But we're hoping that the sun will go away. It will be raining soon, and so the weather will be better. Here are grafted oranges, and we also have got this drumstick. Drumstick is usually called Moringa oleifera. Moringa oleifera is a herb and also a vegetable that is highly consumed back here. Its seeds and its leaves are consumed as medicine. And you also have this tree that is called Milicia excelsa. Milicia excelsa, the Swahili people call it mvule, and the Luo people call it olwa. Is an indigenous tree. You know, eucalyptus and whistling pine and cypress are among exotic trees that are mostly used as timber. But before we got the exotic trees, Milicia excelsa used to be one of the trees that used to make timber in the early days. So that is, and since the introduction of the exotic ones that grow faster, people somehow stopped raising the traditional ones, the indigenous ones, and so they've become extinct. And because we are conservationists, we are making effort to restore them, to have them back into the ecosystem, because if we do not take that responsibility, if we do not take up the responsibility of seeing that we raise them, then we are likely to lose them entirely. That's why we are making effort to raise them. We also have got smaller seedlings of the jackfruit. When this video started, jackfruit is what I showed you, and so you can still see that we have got jackfruit tree seedlings, and just lots and lots of them. We've been raising lots of Chevlera tree seedlings. So mostly what you've seen us plant is this tree that is called Chevlera. But Chevlera is also another beautiful tree, not indigenous but exotic. It is native to Australia and Queensland and more parts of Asia, and that was its origin. Now this can be planted indoors in a container, but you can also have it planted outside. Like we planted this one on the ground. You can see it is almost twice my height. What you can see here, it is planted on the ground, and usually it can make a nice shade. It is also usually beautiful. It's planted as an ornament, so it's an ornamental plant, as you can see it over there. More of the sisal family ornamental plants. These ones can also be planted in containers, and I mean, you can pot them, or you can also have them planted on the ground, and usually they grow just so beautiful among the many plants that we are raising here. And guys working around here, we've got Mandela today. He's at his usual workstation watering the plants to ensure that they are in safe condition. It is a morning and it is the best time to do the watering. Yeah, so owing to the prolonged drought, the seedlings have just grown too tall. They've actually overgrown. You can see Mandela walking right inside them there, and they're almost his height. So those are among the challenges here. It takes a while, and sometimes you could have the seedlings overgrowing. And in a case in which they overgrow, we normally have to pot them into larger containers. So you could find that we have seedlings that are just so big, and usually because the cost of seeing them become large is usually, I mean, seeing them reported is usually a little high, so you realize that even the cost of the tree seedlings might be higher. But because it will be raining soon, so we are just anticipating that what you see here will be among the first tree seedlings to go to be planted. I once talked about conifers, and these are conifers. They are called cypress. Now, cypress is among the most known conifer plants. Now, as you can see it here, this is usually has two tusks, mostly used as timber, and also it can be used for hedging. It is a hedging plant, just as you can see. And when used as a hedge, usually it's just so amazing, beautiful. And for timber, it is preferred for construction, especially construction of roofs, where it comes handy. And we also have got just lots and lots of them. And our production doesn't end at that. We also have got more Duranta. This one, we've been planting it all over, so I believe you've always seen it. And Duranta also exists in several colors. So we have got this here that is yellowish. Then we've got this other one here that has got a white, variegated white. And we also have got those that are just pure green, like this one here. You can see that it is green, though they are mixed up a bit here. We have got those that are usually green, and we also have got those that are golden in color. That is just before I show you the crotons. This is also exotic, but it's just so beautiful to many people. So people usually come over here and pick them, and they are sold to them, and so that we make some income. Now, among the tree seedlings that we produce, some we choose to plant because when we plant them, we are able to harvest them and get a taste of their fruits. If you look at here, you can see that this here is called a Nona moricata. A Nona moricata is a fruit tree, soursop. And you can see that this has been here. It was planted in the year 2020, and you can see that it is already fruiting, has got some very beautiful fruits. I don't know if I can see one that is just almost ripe. I don't know if I'll be able to zoom it. Let me try to zoom in. Yeah, this in particular, and I think I'll be harvesting it in a while. We also have got ashok. Is known as Polyalthia longifolia. Ashok is usually a beautiful tree that grows straight and with the branches drooping down, and it doesn't form tall branches. The branches are usually short and drooping downwards, giving a very beautiful outlook akin to what you're able to see here. And for lovers of flowers, we've got night jasmine here. This is usually beautiful and gives a very sweet scent at night. It has no scent at all in the day, yeah, but at night it gives a very nice scent here. And this, we left it to grow wild, so it has just grown and spread all over. You can see it there, giving a very nice scent here at night. And now, among the most extinct trees is this one here. The most extinct, this is called Wabugia ugandensis. Wabugia is a medicinal tree, is a herb. It grows quite slowly and hard to get. But for a long time, Africa used to be a natural land. Yeah, so for a long time, we assumed that these are trees that would just grow on their own. And we never bothered, here in Africa, we never bothered about raising these trees. And even if you move across many tree nurseries, not many people are bothered about raising this. Even clients are not easily coming for this because they assume that these are trees that can grow on their own, but that is an assumption. No tree grows on its own, especially with increased population and also continued encroachment into forest lands, and also wanton destruction of forests where people want charcoal and they will just bring down any tree without considering how long it takes to grow. So as a result, we are highly affected. This tree in particular is highly affected. The only place it is easily found is in the Masai Mara. But even in Masai Mara, there is still a lot of encroachment, and this tree is threatened to extinction. And the best you can help is to adopt this tree. You can adopt it. I mean, you can still use us here at Joint Hands Green Life Trees. You can say that, okay, if that is the case, I'm sponsoring a few trees to be planted in a designated area. It could be within some public institution, because at a public institution, destruction can be regulated, a school or maybe a health facility, and this could be the shade there. And so with that, we would be having more of it. But more importantly, we need them back into gazetted forest lands so that we have more and more of Wabugia ugandensis, because Wabugia is fast disappearing. I bet if you start looking for a Wabugia ugandensis tree, it would be so hard to find. But traditionally, this tree was used for medical purposes. The Wabugia ugandensis would treat conditions like diarrhea, dysentery, conditions like cholera and typhoid. And even today, I still see people preparing them. Actually, as I told you, it is more in the Mara, so the Masai Mara. So you would see Masai people walking around hawking traditional medicine. And most of it is usually made out of this tree, Wabugia ugandensis. The roots, the bark, or the leaves, and sometimes they mix it with some other trees to make a concoction that can be of health benefit, because indigenous traditional medicine has been practiced around here for ages. Since I just talked about a herb, so I'll bring this also to your attention. This is a herb that we've planted before, so if you've been following our videos, I believe you've seen this. We've planted it quite often. This is rosemary. Rosemary is usually a spice used to prepare meals, and also a herb used to treat various conditions. But now, because I do not have that herbal medicinal background, I won't go into explaining much about how it is used and what it does. Or we could conserve that for another day, because I can still find out and share right here on camera. Yeah, and that is all we had for you from us, Joint Hands Green Life Trees. We look forward to sharing a lot more. There are just so many trees to talk about here. I can't exhaust all of them in one single video. So what I've not shared today, I look forward to sharing any other time. In your comments, you may help me understand what perspective of this whole work you do not understand, so that I may come back and share a lot more about it. And also in the comment section, I would also love to hear your opinion concerning our work, and any improvement that you feel we need to put in place, feel free to share with us. Yeah, so that will help us to keep the conversation running, and also will help us to keep improving on the work that we are doing. We are after conservation, and that is our drive. That is our greatest wish, that we do it to the best extent we can. The conservation we've done here is the reason you can hear birds singing to my background there. You can hear, you can see that nature is having its course here. It used not to be like this. This whole area used to be an open field. And since we got into this YouTube journey with you, our subscriber, things have not been the same. We are very grateful to you. We look forward to greater interaction. My name is John Bosco from Joint Hands Green Life Trees. I wish you the very best. Till we catch up in our next video. Bye bye.